Hi everyone, Tim Brown. Welcome back to my Apple Podcast, the podcast that makes a personal connection to everything Apple. For this episode, I want to focus on an application that's made for iOS. It's called Grid. It's designed by Binary Thumb. A designer behind this company is named Josh Leong. And I came across a couple of tech blogs that mentioned that Josh actually developed the 2013 version of Excel. So that's where the genesis, I believe, of this application lies. What's different is that Josh Leong has decided to make the grid-like foundation much more accessible and much more flexible for those of us who have now become accustomed to touchscreen interfaces like the iPad. So let's go ahead and explore the application Grid. Just give me a few seconds while it launches full screen. And right now you're looking at my home page. These are actually some sample projects that come with Grid, and I have one that I already set up. And then you'll see on the top left there's an option to start a new grid. So that's what we're going to do. So I can just show you what this application looks like. So we're going to click New Grid. When it opens, you see a very faint outline of a grid, very much like Excel. Now what's nice though is the user interface and how you actually build your content using this very unique touchscreen interface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tap on the top left corner. You'll see there's a green dot. You have the option to drag this dot to cover as many different squares or grids that you want to. So just let me demonstrate this. I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to drag it over to say 3 squares, and then I'm going to drag it downwards to 3 more squares. So I pretty much have a square shape here. And now I have an option to add content to this particular area. I'm going to go ahead and take that same circle and I'm going to drag my finger upwards. You'll see that by doing so, I bring up a menu of options. On the top left, I have the option to add some text. On the top right, I have the option to add a photo. On the bottom, I can go ahead and add contacts from my contacts in my phone book or my address book, or I can go ahead and just add a map. So let's try that first. I'm going to go ahead and just add a map. It needs to access my current location. That's fine. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave that the way it is. Hit the check mark. And we're done. So now I've just added a map to my project. Now I can go ahead and press and hold on this little widget here and reposition it. Maybe I'll go ahead and move it over. I'm going to press and hold again and just move it over just a tad. So now I have a little space around it. So I could actually go ahead and add a title above this if I wanted. If I wanted to add a little header. So I can go ahead and tap here, bring up another little circle. Then I can drag that over to cover the width of this map that I just added. And just like I did before, I can take this circle and then drag upwards. And it brings up that same menu of options. In which case here, I can go ahead and tap on the pencil pad tool and just go ahead and add some text. And I'm just going to go ahead and type Alabama. And I can even go ahead and center this text if I like. You also have options too to adjust how you want this square to look. So if you want to add a color background, you have some templates to choose from here. And when you're ready, just click done. And you can set up your whole project this way. So let's go ahead and just experiment with the other options that are available when laying out your grid. So I'm going to go ahead and skip a space here, bring up my dot, and then I'm going to go over 3 more squares, and then drag it down another 3 squares. And this time I'm going to go ahead and bring in a photograph. So I'm going to drag up and bring up my menu, click on the camera icon, choose a photo from my library, and see if I can find a really cool image. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Now I want to go ahead and even this out with my map. So I'm going to press and hold, and then just drag that down. And then I can go ahead and then add another title to this photo right above it. So I'll take that circle, I'm going to press upwards to bring up my menu, And I'm going to go ahead, press on the pencil tool, and then add some more text. I'm just going to go ahead and just say landscape. Go ahead and center that. Now I'm going to go ahead and explore some color options here. Click done, and we'll just set that up. So you kind of get the idea. You can go through the entire grid and just set up as many different configurations as you like. As you can see, because it's a grid and it's like Excel, it's endless in terms of how you can set up your content. So right now in this first iteration of Grid, you can only share this application by sending it to another person who happens to have the same application installed on their iOS device. And that's really the only way that you can share it. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of friends or any friends who have this application, nor do I know anyone that would be interested in sharing and or exchanging information using this particular format. So right now, this first iteration isn't a whole lot of use for me, although I'm sure there are people out there who are much more accustomed to the sharing format who can definitely benefit from that. But this is how it works in case you want to do that. There is basically a double portrait at the bottom left. You're going to tap on that. It's then going to prompt you to share it with another person. So this is the message that you receive when someone sends you an invitation. And you just simply click on or tap on View Grid. And you will see you'll be prompted to open the grid using the application. You will need to have the application installed on your iOS device for this to work. And since I already have it, I can just press on open, and then that same project will open on my iOS device. In this case, I just sent it to myself, but you get the idea for demo purposes. So it's pretty cool. If you like sharing and you like working in this kind of format, this could be a lot of fun for you. I would try it out. For me, this iteration isn't going to be that much use because I don't know anyone that's using this app, and I'm probably not going to be sharing it in this way, at least not now. But I'm very much looking forward to future iterations of this app because the possibilities are endless. That's Grid by Binary Thumbs. Check it out in the App Store. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Mindable Podcast. My name is Tim Brown. Check me out next time.